Okay. Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. This okay, okay. Ah, okay. Um, okay, guys. I know it's been a while, but we're here today, so we're going to get started as fast as possible. I'm just going to share this link. I'm just going to share this link. One second. Okay. So if you're here, just feel free to put um say hello in the comment section so that I know that I'm actually, I actually have people here with me. Just say hello in the comment section. Just say hello in the comment section. Just say hello in the comment section. And I will know that you're here. And just say hello in the comment section. Okay. Right. So today we are here, and I've collected about how many am I looking at? I've collected about 551 questions that a whole lot of you had, or challenges rather, that a whole lot of you or have had have put in the form, and basically your challenges is what I'm going to be here to talk about in the next 20 to 30 minutes. And so if you have anything to say, you can feel free to like put it in the um, chat comments. Yeah. Okay. So welcome. Um, for the new people, my name is Onye, and this is Talk with Onye. Um, for our old subscribers, you already know who I am and where I come from. and what has been going on. And so I welcome you once again. Uh, so basically, I've seen a whole lot of questions, and the reason why I decided to just group them is because some of you are really saying the same thing. Um, some of you are really going through the same thing. So if you're out there and thinking this is only you, stop thinking that, because there are a lot of people who are actually going through the same challenge that you're going through. So don't fret, okay? I'll be breaking down these struggles, and this I'm telling you, these are 2025 problems, and I think it's nice that we talk about them so that you know how to strategize for 2026. You're even for the end of 2026, right? I'm saying this because in the job market, right, most people, most companies are going to be hiring towards the end, and most of these people are going to resume by January because a lot of people might be resigning due to one thing or the other from their place of work. So do not give up. There's still time. Don't give up. Do what you got to do. Do not give up. Okay. So what are you going to be expecting in today's life? We're going to be talking about getting started. I think I've spoken about getting started for so long. I am tired of talking about getting started. But of course, we're going to talk about getting started because I noticed that there are a lot of beginners in this space. And we also want to be talking about finding real jobs and dealing with rejection and confidence, basically confidence for interviews and all of that. Okay, so um, so first, I kind of grouped this into I grouped this into five. As you can see, we have a whole. I said we have up to 551 questions. 551 questions. People are saying, I want to learn. One of my problems is building portfolio, not getting clients, uh, don't have portfolio, salary, newbie, I don't have the knowledge, blah, blah, blah. So basically, most of us are saying the same thing, and I've been able to group them into categories. And so we're going to start with the challenge of getting started, which is a beginner problem. So, beginners over here, I have a question. So, one of the things that I've seen so many times is I don't know how to start, I don't know where to start. I'm still learning the skills. So much information online, and I'm here to tell you that it is actually normal. As I said, it's not just you going through all of this. So, for those who do not know where to start, look for a program and register in. I think in my last video or my last live, was it a live? Or was it a, I think it was that Zoom event I did for my WhatsApp community. I can't recall. Well, I actually talked about, I referred or recommended a whole lot of you to go do the ALXVA training. So right now, I don't know if there's another training coming up, but you can go check it out. For those who don't know where to start from training first. Now, um, those who are still in training, what I would say that you can do is start now to dust up your CV. Start up now to dust up your CV. So, what you want to do with your CV is make sure it's right. Pass your CV across to so many people and ask them to do a review for you, You can also make sure that you start now to come up with things to put in a portfolio, right? Start now to build a portfolio, right? This is for those who are still learning, right? Now, for those who think that the information online is overwhelming, right? So much to see online. This is what I do whenever I notice that I have overwhelming information. Number one, I streamline myself. I ask myself that yes, it's good to follow so many people, right? But but you just want to follow a few people back to back. If there are 10 websites, 10 YouTubers, Instagrammers talking about being a virtual assistant, how to get started, think about two or three or four maximum and follow those people back to back. Follow their strategy, especially if their strategies align. What you're looking at is strategies, making sure if their strategies align, then follow their strategies. That is what you want to do. You notice that people who have different backgrounds would have different people who have different backgrounds or have different stories to tell, their journeys will not be similar, and so their entry process into the market, to the job market, will be quite difficult. Therefore, their advice, their recommendations might not be similar, and so you want to figure out what situation is peculiar to yours, what situation is close to your current situation, and how can you, um, work it out and make sure that this strategy that you're about to follow is actually going to be useful to your current situation. Okay. For example, there are people are who don't who have the money to spend on certain types of trainings that will probably recommend a job to you, blah blah blah. But if you have that kind of income, you have that kind of capital somewhere, you definitely can spend on that, right? But if you're someone who you don't really have a lot of money, you're the one trying to figure this out for yourself, and you're looking for free classes, probably don't even own a laptop for yourself, then you would notice that your own situation will be quite different from that of the person who is quite very comfortable, right? So you want to be strategic as to who you want to follow. You don't get money. You don't go and follow somebody who is boxed up and follow because you don't have the cash to do what they are doing, right? So you want to follow people who come or came from similar background and can help you out, or and can you can relate to it. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So I've definitely shared the story of how I started. I used to stay in Enugu, and after school, I had to stay back home because I had to take care of my mom. And so didn't come to the Lagos side where the jobs, blah blah blah. And somehow my friends introduced me to Fiverr, and I stumbled upon this gig, and so that's how I started doing VA work even before I did my ALX training. And so while I was in ALX training, things kind of make sense to me and kind of sharpened my skills. So I already got a VA job before I did the training, right? But I was computer literate. Like at that point in time, I knew my way around the computer. I owned a computer, so there are things I knew how to do, right? So it kind of helped matter. So if you're in that kind of situation, I've also heard someone say that she has not even done any VA training and she's working as a VA. I think it was in our WhatsApp community, and there are people like that, right? But definitely, I know that people like this know how to operate the computer. They know what to do, Microsoft Word, Excel, Canva. There are certain things already you know how to do, and then you're quite resourceful. You know how to figure things out. Even if you don't know what to do, you know how to figure it out. I think recently one someone I was doing redesigning Wix website for asked me to what was that? Something she asked me to do for her. And I've never done that. Or I was like, okay, in demand, some sort of integration, and I was like, oh, I'm going to research on that. And basically, there's some things that you don't need to have known how it works, but you know that if you check YouTube, check Google, you definitely find out if it's doable or not, if you can do it, or you actually need a professional to do it. Okay, so being resourceful is important. So this is a roadmap that I would like you to follow. This is a roadmap I'm going to like you to follow, and I'm going to possibly put it down. Hey, hi Tolu. Can you please talk about getting clients? Okay, I'm going to talk about getting clients. So this is a roadmap that I would like you to follow. Uh, this is a roadmap I like you to follow. Learn, build, portfolio, apply and improve. This is something that I would like every one of us, depending on where what stage you're in. If you've not, as I said, you've not started, go and look for a skill. If you don't even know your left from your from your right when it comes to computer and all of that, go and start. Go and learn something. Register somewhere. I'm going to check ALX websites before we close. And if you're already in a program, then start building your portfolio. If you're already in a program, you have a portfolio ready, start applying for jobs, start applying for roles, right? If you're applying for roles and you're not yet getting, improve. Find out if there are certain other things you need to learn based on the job descriptions that you've seen, right? Find out if there are some things that you need to like go learn and add to your CV, right? um, these are things that will make you irresistible. So learn, build your portfolio, keep applying. If you're not getting any responses, improve. There's this stuff my husband taught me. He said, if you're applying for jobs and you're not getting responses, check your CV. If you're getting responses but you're not, and you get into the interview but they don't pick you, then work on your interview skills, right? Work on your interview skills. So if the issue is round around that point where you keep putting out that CV, putting out that portfolio, give your CV to someone who's already working. Tell the person to take a look at the CV and give me feedback. Not somebody like you, but someone who's not working, who is already working. Let the person to give you feedback on your CV and take it from there, right? Now, if you go for interviews, they don't call you back. Tell you, oh, I'm going to call you back, but they don't call you back. Work on your interview skills, right? Just work on your interview skills. All right, so take note of this. Learn, build your portfolio, keep on applying. If you're applying and you're not getting feedback, improve. Figure out where you're improving. Are you improving on your CV? Are you improving on your portfolio? Or are you improving on your interview skills? Right. Okay. Now, I am going to mention few resources that are free. Number one, YouTube. Listen, YouTube is that place that I'm saying it as my number one, it's my number two, it's my number three. Make YouTube your friend. Any Everything is available on YouTube. Everything is available on YouTube. So make YouTube your friend. And other places you can go, like you can just go out, go use these apps yourself. Like go and use these apps yourself. Is it Canva? Is it Trello? Is it Notion? Right? Google Workspace or Microsoft Workspace. Like go and use them yourself. Interact with these apps and know that now, oh, I know how it works. I know how it works, right? Do not wait for someone to do it for you before you know how to do it, right? So figure out how they work. I am again going to recommend Airlex because I like the way the program is structured. This is not a paid advertisement. I like the way the program is structured. I like the way it's easy for a beginner to catch up. I like the way intermediates can do this training and still learn, right? So you can either do the VA course or you can do the professional foundation course, right? Any of those two. If you want more technical roles, you can go to the website and see other courses that they have over there. Now, yeah, Tolu said I should talk about getting it right. She said he said she said talk about getting clients. Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to talk about. Right. So talk about getting clients. This is the hardest part because in business it's like talk about marketing, right? If you're in business, that part is the marketing part, and everyone knows that marketing is not easy. Make LinkedIn your friend. Make Fiverr or Upwork your friend. Then I'm just going to put number three, networking. But I know that there are some people who do not have the right people around them. But then there are some others who do, right? Maybe people who kind of have people around them who are in the corporate space. Then to those kind of people, I'd say leverage your network, right? But there are some other people who don't have those kind of people around them. I'm just going to say, don't joke with LinkedIn, don't joke with Fiverr or Upwork. There are people who are constantly getting jobs on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not dead. There are people who are constantly getting jobs on LinkedIn, either through their posts, like they post, they reach out to people, some others by applying, right? So there are so many ways that you can actually utilize LinkedIn and to get clients, to get real work. So that's not what we came here to say, like in that's not what we came here to say, spend time on. But I'm telling you, do not joke with LinkedIn, do not joke with Fiverr or Upwork. I always say this, I'm not so good at Fiverr at Upwork. Upwork did not really favor me. I am more on the Fiverr side, but there are people who have done this Upwork thing and they are still like I know someone that's a friend of mine who was just starting, and then after 2 3 months she told me, oh, she got a client on Upwork. I've been trying Upwork. Upwork did not do for me. So there are people out there. Do not streamline. Don't just keep yourself one place. There's this thing in Igbo language. You say, "I don't know if we're keeping my kind of like you don't stay some just one place, and you kind of like need to put your hands different places just to be able to get what you want." Okay, so finding jobs may the problem might not necessarily be that job, right? Sometimes it's the problem is from your CV, sometimes is from the design, sometimes it's from the content of the CV, sometimes it's because you don't have a portfolio, some other times it's because your portfolio doesn't suit the job role that you're applying for. So you need to know what exactly you have to make it's like a jigsaw. You need to have everything fit perfectly well, right? And so when an employer looks at this, they look at your portfolio. It's not just you showing random things that would not help you in the current role you're applying for, but you want to make sure that everything kind of matches, the fit, right? Okay. So trying to stand out, like I mentioned LinkedIn. I'm saying LinkedIn because there are people even outside, even on Fiverr and Upwork. There are people who want to work with you long term, maybe because they want to give you certain sensitive information. They will want to look you up on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is our professional. It's kind of like your online CV, so to speak. So make sure you have your LinkedIn all set up. Put in interesting, make sure your profile, your LinkedIn profile, your job, your education, even if you're still in school, make sure everything is kind of like where they should be. Make sure your bio is saying something nice, professional. Make sure you know, your profile picture is professional and not empty. Make sure it's not empty, I beg. Make sure you're really doing your best on LinkedIn and make sure you keep your LinkedIn content, professional. Um, Nowadays, LinkedIn is now kind of watering down. Most people are not 100% formal nowadays. They're more like semi-formal, that semi-formal vibe, corporate, semi-corporate vibe. So kind of know that you don't need to get all stuck up in that whole corporate, but you can kind of like, water it down a little bit. Okay. So, I know someone mentioned about having no replies on Indeed and Upwork or being scared of scams. I'm going to say this because I know a friend of mine who I kind of introduced to Fiverr. There was a time she sent me a screenshot and it was someone who wanted some sort of service. And I think the service was they wanted her to host a program. She was going to serve as the presenter, the host, and for a particular price, and blah blah blah. And I was like, this thing sounds like scam. Don't agree. Yeah. So while there are legit people on all of these platforms, there are still people who still want to pay you, but want to pay you to do illegal stuff. You don't want to fall for those. Because I told her, is the thing going to be an audio something? Or will your face come out for that kind of hosting, virtual host? And she said the face has to come. I say, I beg, run for your daylight. Because if at some point they're trying to scam someone, because I think it was some sort of pitch. He said if they're trying to scam someone off and they want to use your face, they will find you with facial recognition and run for your daylight. So there are certain things that you need to be very careful about. Secondly, there are other people who want to. I don't know if I've shared the story, but there's a time in particular account sent me a message, oh, they would like me to work with them, offline, blah blah blah. And I was new then, technically, maybe I wasn't new, I don't know, but I literally contacted them offline, like, oh, they'll get back to me, rep will get back to me. And a few days later, a rep got back to me, saying, oh, thank you very much. Please send your CV. And they sent my CV, and later on, they got back to me. They said, oh, I am fit for the role, blah, blah, blah. But I need to do some, you know, kind of onboarding process, right? And so, onboarding process, so see NDA, or see this one, that one, needed to sign, blah, 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 sign. I started doing all this onboarding process, and where will I like to even I've not spoken with anybody, just email communication. Even went as far as where do I want to get my money from, like right account number, blah blah blah. I was like, let me just put a Bitcoin wallet because you can do Bitcoin wallets or one other way. I was like, okay, let me remove anywhere that has money that belongs to me. Let me just one empty wallet like that. And that's how I use one empty wallet like that. And because I gave them my email and I gave them so many other things, right? I gave them so many other things. And then one day I just went for a burial. I was at a burial somewhere, I noticed that someone was trying to hack my email. I said, God, oh, what did I do? How did I get here? And I remember it was this people. And so, of course, they didn't hack it because I had my phone around. I had my phone around. And so, what I'm trying to say is that there are people who are just looking for money on these platforms, right? So you have to be careful. That was Fiverr. You have to be careful, right? You want to be careful, guard yourself, guard the small money that you've made well, and be careful not to get scammed. So I hope with these few stories of mine, you are convinced and not confused. And I'm not trying to scare you from going to this platform, but just trying to like tell you that these things are possible. Okay. So now, if one of the problems that you have is that you lack experience, the answer is to have portfolio or look for volunteer experience. I probably have made a video. Yes, I've made a video live about volunteer experience. So go and watch the video and see places you can register. Yeah. See, oh, there's a way you can join my WhatsApp. Yes, yes, there's a link on. There's a link. If you go to YouTube's my YouTube channel's description, video description, see a link to join the WhatsApp community. Yes, yes, yes. Feel free to do that. Okay. So what I was talking about is experience, how to gain experience. Either you build a portfolio or you register to volunteer someplace. Register to volunteer someplace. If you're at a particular career, right, particular profession rather, you want to switch into another profession and you don't have transferable skills from where you were before, look for volunteer roles in that profession you want to go into and ask to volunteer for 2 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, stuff like that. Part for part time. You don't want to do it full time because it's not paying you. So you can do it part time. Make sure you just to get the ropes and you can add that place as your work experience in your CV. Okay, it's not magic, right? So build a portfolio or look for volunteer experience. Building a portfolio means I would say find a project that you would do. Start from the beginning to the end. Kind of shows your sense of responsibility, Sha. Yeah. So um for portfolio, if you can, yeah, you can do a PDF portfolio or you can use, do free website portfolios. Google has Google sites that you can use to build a portfolio site. Wix has that. There are other sites, Squarespace, these other sites that have free version of website that you can use to even Notion, right? Even Canva, you can do the one that you can publish. So there, there are free ways that you can do portfolio, right? Free. Okay. So getting clients, right? I think I've spoken about it a while. I talk about finding authentic jobs, but yeah, getting clients, yeah. So while I talked about LinkedIn, right? Figure out how you can reach out to people on their Instagram profile, on their Facebook DMs, on their LinkedIn messages, right? Send them personalized DM, asking them that you want to volunteer as their administrative assistant for 3 months part time, blah 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 blah. That's all. Make sure those people have businesses so that you can use those businesses as as for your CV, right? Not just anybody, right? So I'd say you also need to make sure your LinkedIn works. I've talked about that. And I know that networking For some people, it will be difficult because they don't have people within their networks that already have, you know, recommendations for them. But if you're one of those that have people working already, ask for referrals, ask for testimonials, you know, ask to help out. It's not a big deal, right? No, these are just ways that you can. So that's the LinkedIn network, right? So for Fiverr, for freelance websites, you need to sign up on the website and follow the procedures that the websites are, giving you. So for some, for some, um, for some, what's the word? For some people, for some people, for some people, it's not going to be easy, right? Especially Upwork. Upwork is now highly monetized in such a way that it's difficult. It's not difficult for that, but it's expensive to to make it in Upwork now because you need to buy, connect, you need to do a lot of things with money in Upwork, right? So um if you can, please go ahead, take that risk. It's an investment, right? It's just take it as an investment. See if it will work. Like every not all business is good, so do what you can do. Now for Fiverr, you know that Fiverr is free. They only charge you when you make money. So I would also say you can look at Fiverr. Sign up. Nowadays, Fiverr is not that easy, right? You don't know Fiverr. So you have somebody in the abroad. You know, have a cousin, friend in the abroad. Tell the person to help you and register on Fiverr and give you the account. That's the best thing the person can do for you. The person doesn't need to send you money. The person just should give you that Fiverr account. It will make things a little bit easier for you. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, because nowadays they I don't know what they're doing, but they don't like us. They don't like us. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. What's next? Next to talk about. So payments. Yeah, I think someone asked that question about payments. Payments. So for Fiverr, you use Payoneer. I think for Upwork too, you can either withdraw directly into your Nigerian account or use Payoneer. So the thing with withdrawing into your Nigerian account is that they give you the money at whatever exchange rates they have. But withdrawing into Payoneer means you just withdraw in USD into Payoneer, and whenever you want, you can now withdraw it into your Nigerian bank account. So sometimes you don't want the money immediately, you just want to leave it to be waiting there. And whenever the dollar now rises, blah 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 blah, you can now start taking in your money, in order to make a little bit more profit. Um, so Payoneer is a way. Payoneer is a way. Yes. So for those people who want to listen to the advice of getting someone over there to do the account for you, it's still simple. The person should withdraw into the account and send you the money the way they're going to send it to you, right? So um, it's not difficult. Don't you can't use PayPal because we can't receive money in this country. Using PayPal, right? So Payoneer is the way to go. Okay, okay. So before I wrap up, are there any other questions? Before I wrap up, are there any other questions? Let me see. Okay. I guess not. I guess not. I guess not. Okay, so in the absence of any other questions, I'm going to just wrap up, right? Okay, so let me summarize this. I think when I looked through the number of questions that I have, 500 and something, I decided I was going to categorize them. See, I decided I'm going to categorize these questions, and I came up with four, five categories. Right. First is that people getting started don't know how to start. Others don't know how to get real jobs. Others have issues with money. They're not sure about the money thing. And I'm here to tell you that it's easy to do. Just follow the steps that I've kind of like mentioned now. Understand that you're not the only person going through this. There are so many other people, 551 other people going through the same thing that you're going through. So do not think that you're doing this alone. Feel free to join our community um, to ask questions. The, the beautiful, though we're not always talking, but the beautiful thing is anybody that puts in a question, once you put in a question, somebody must answer it because there are people who have gone through what you're going through. Okay, so if this session kind of helps you, right? Please feel free to tell me in the comment section that, oh, thank you very much for this. Thank you very much. Um, Feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribing. I'll be posting more live sessions and see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care.